Of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Or that experts say anyone who lives or works with infants should be vaccinated. Maybe you didn't know all the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knew the whole time. But maybe, since you already went and got your flu shot at Rite Aid without hassle or appointment, maybe you didn't need to know any of that. Rite Aid. With us, it's personal.
Did you know? Fresh Step Extreme Lightweight Litter isn't just light. It's also the best lightweight for eliminating odors. Amazing, right? For guaranteed odor elimination, try Fresh Step Extreme. Lightweight.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits.
From the very minute you have this idea that you want to be in business, you need to have that card.
Presentation is everything because they're not only first impression of you, but now you're handing them this product that really is kind of going to define your business in their mind pretty quickly.
You want a very thick card that feels nice in your client's hand.
I think it's nice to have a choice because sometimes you want a glossy card, but for other projects, I don't necessarily want all that.
Your business card is a reflection of you. It should say exactly what you want. With a range of designs, stock, and finish options at Vistaprint, it will. Get 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com. And for bonus offers, text TV to 70702.
That business card, when I make a connection with someone, has to be phenomenal. It has to be elegant and invoke all the things that Diamond stands for.
Just that professionalism is going to make you, as a business owner, more successful just right off the bat.
Vistaprint.com.
Call Humana now at 1-866-680-4971.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a developing story that we're following here on the Weather Channel. Rescue missions are underway in Sri Lanka right now, and here's why. Monsoonal rains triggered a landslide. At least 2 people are dead, and as many as 200 are believed to be trapped. A clinic and a temple were destroyed, among other buildings. This is off India's southeast coast, and we'll continue to follow the story here on Weather Channel and at weather.com as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of that continent, we've got a tropical threat. Let's head out to the lab and Storm Tracker Jim Cantore for your tropical update. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, and at one point, Kelly, the third strongest system in the Arabian Sea on record since the modern satellite era. And of course, we're talking about Nilüfer here, which this is what we call a kind of a it's a high-resolution satellite image. All right, it's actually looping. So we're taking different cuts and we're piecing them together so it looks like it's actually a satellite loop, or we're actually creating the loop with these pictures. But the key is it's a very high-resolution satellite loop. And so we're looking into the inner workings of this system. In other words, does it have a core? Is there a tear in the kneecap? That kind of thing. That kind of high-resolution MRI that we're looking for. And of course, when we reset this, you'll notice there's the eye, but look at what's happened as this has gone into motion. Ugh. You've lost it, right? It's gone. So without the heart, that's pretty much the end of the story, right? So this thing is on a weakening trend and will continue to do so in time. The heart, of course, being the eye of the hurricane. So winds are 75 miles per hour now, continuing to weaken east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Big convective blow-up, though, on recent satellite pictures here. So that doesn't mean it's done in terms of what we've got. So it's going to slowly weaken, and some of the models don't have anything going into northwest India. Kelly just mentioned southeast India on the Pacific side, but here, of course, on the west side in the Arabian Sea, this is the area where we're worried about southern Pakistan and India for some potential heavy rain here. So that is something we will continue to watch for you regardless of this tropical system being an entity or not. All right, so what's going on a little closer to our neck of the woods? We've still got Invest 95L. 93E, I think, is the most important feature right now. And if you remember Hannah it's back on shore over northern Guatemala right now. Thank goodness. Let's hope it stays there. Here's a look at the visible before the sun went down. You'll notice what happens. We kind of clear out the whole thing, but you can see the circulation right in here. All right, moving north of Anguilla. It's kind of a broad circulation right in through here, but all the convection, all the thunderstorms are on the eastern side of this, so it's not very well developed. And the reason why they're on the eastern side of it is because the center is here, okay? Look at the wind shear. Huge wind shear, strong upper level winds blowing those thunderstorms away from that center. So if you look at it in the vertical, you've got the center here, and all the thunderstorms are off here. So it's tilted very, very poorly, and that means without the thunderstorms being over the top of that center, this system is not going to develop. They're it's very, very sheared, as we call it. So again, here's the surface center, here are the thunderstorms. That's a different way of looking at it. That is a system that's not going to develop anytime soon. Either way, still got a 30% chance of this happening in time, and then eventually it's going to get caught up in that monster trough that's coming off the east coast, and it's going to scream everything off toward the northeast. So the models do that. They take it off toward the west and then quickly advance it off to the northeast, really shearing it apart. Once I think it gets about here, it's a non-entity because of the way, unless it really develops quickly. There will be a little period of time for it to develop. Here's a look at the current shear today. Getting hammered. Watch what happens. And so remember where the center is, about right in through here. Let's watch what happens as we go on in time. So let's draw that in again, right here. Watch what happens as we go on in time. A little light shear on Friday. So there's that brief window on Friday for this to develop. So we got about 24 hours left, 24 to 48 hours, and then that's about it. Then comes this monster trough, where really, if you look across the Atlantic Basin with this type of wind shear, the only place for something to develop is way back in the southwest Bay of Campeche. That's it. All right, so there's Hannah right there heading over to Guatemala and continue to pass on off toward the west. We'll watch 93L for you, as it could be Vance in time. We'll see.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunny skies, high 84. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear skies, low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Came into this world naked, I'm going out naked. I ain't taking this with me. But the memories I can take, right? And that's what the most precious, and that's what I can keep.
Memories may be all that's left for dozens of families still in the possible path of an unavoidable flow of 2,000-degree lava. Why this is so different than any other natural disaster we follow.
Something went wrong, and we will find out what that is.
Got main engines at 108%.
Things went horribly wrong at the NASA Launch Complex in Virginia last night. An unmanned rocket here blew up seconds after takeoff. Astronauts lost the food and other supplies destined for the International Space Station. But we'll tell you why dozens of young students had their hearts broken in this big ball of fire. And a Halloween surprise potentially for millions of people, the first flakes of the year. An extremely tricky forecast. We're going to break down two different possibilities coming up. This is Weather Center Live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Warren. Jim Cantori is going to update his forecast on who will have the best chance at seeing snow by this weekend. But first, Let's get to meteorologist Mark Elliott. He's tracking a very important ingredient for snow. That's the freezing temperatures. And here he is with an Arctic blast surging in for millions of people. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. While there's still questions for the amount of precipitation and where that will be, the cold air in this Arctic blast is an almost certainty at this point. Let's go through the details here as to where that cold air is starting and where it's coming from. You're looking into northern portions of Canada. Here's Alaska. And this is the base for our cold air outbreak. There is snow on the ground here, helping to get any sun to kind of bounce back into space. It's called albedo, that white surface helping build that cold air outbreak. And then the surface high will slide its way down and set up shop over the Great Lakes in the eastern United States. So at the surface, we're going to have this northerly or northwesterly flow bringing in the cold air. We also, aloft, have this big dip in the jet stream, and that's going to help to invigorate our storm. So the main ingredient to see snow is, of course, that cold air, and that looks like it's coming on in. Again, here's that northwest wind, right? We can time out that wind, and it will be an Arctic blast. Look at Chicago, 30-mile-per-hour winds, not out of the question as we go through the day on Friday, and that's going to usher in that cold air further south and east. We can look at a place like Cincinnati, Sunday morning, 27 degrees. You haven't been this cold in exactly, by the time we get there, exactly 200 days. It's been a while since it's been that cold. So how about the rest of the region, right? Upper 20s, low 20s up in Fargo Friday morning. That spills further south and east Saturday. Chicago 31, St. Louis 29, and even further south from there Sunday morning, upper 20s Indianapolis and Cincinnati. But it's not the only spot that's going to be chilly. The southeast is going to see those gusty winds as well. That north or northwest flow will also bring down the cold air. So a place like Atlanta, you're going to see the coldest air you've seen in, get it, 200 days. It's been that cold air outbreak back in April. That was the last time we had temperatures like this. Chris, over to you.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Good stats there. And we are in the lab, storm tracker Jim Cantore. It's the time of year we are talking snow, and not just in the mountains.
And here in the lab, we were all discussing earlier how excited we were with the first snow, or even the prospects of snow, how it would stay up all night and leave the barn light on.
Right.
Of course, my dad was always moaning and groaning about the electric bill. But anyway, we did it. We broke the rules, and then we just waited for those first flakes.
You look at the street light. You're just looking at the light.
Yeah, just waiting for that first flake. And that's kind of the way it is. Now, before I said how surprised I was that the first measurable snow was this long in through here. And measurable, Chris, is defined as 1/10 of an inch, or 0.1 inches measurable. The first snow can be a trace, greater than or equal to a trace. So that tends to happen a little bit earlier than these dates. So Jim read this as the first snow versus the first measurable snow. Anyway, hey, that's what when you got 25 graphics to go through, you read quick. All right, so here's what we do. We look at we teleconnect. We can see the system on the satellite. That's always awesome. And then we ask the computer models to say, all right, show me what you got, baby. Carve this shortwave out in the flow and tell me what happens to it. And this is going to dig, so it's going to intensify as it drops south. And behind it, of course, here comes the cold air. Dropping south, dropping south, dropping south with it on the back side of this. And everybody feels this, as Mark said. It's not just, I mean, we're talking Florida too. You'll feel it in Miami, you'll feel it in Key West. Some places in north central Florida will be colder than New England come Sunday morning. All right, so the core of the cold air goes south while the energy and the warm, moist air from the Atlantic Ocean go north. But this is a very dynamic system. We're going to have a lot of wild weather. We're going to have lake effect snow and rain. We're going to have mountain snow. It's going to be heavy at times, and we will have snow potentially in down east Maine. So here's what I'll do. Top of the hour, we'll look at the Euro. The bottom of the hour, we'll look at the GFS, because those are the most reliable global models that we have right there. So here goes the Euro, double barrel, low pressure. It's the second one. That's the one to key in on and through here. So here we are on Saturday. We know it's going to be raining in Boston ahead of that. And then by Sunday, they really blow this thing up. But look at where the 32-degree line is. It's just kind of hanging back here. So the European says we're going to have some snow, some bands of snow. I think it'll be cold enough, even above 32, to be producing snow in down east Maine. But not before it produces snow near the Great Lakes, and not before it produces snow over the Appalachians. So that's where, as you can see here, the European snowfall forecast comes into play. And Chris, I'm telling you, this has been one of the most beautiful falls I've ever seen in the central. It's just lasted forever. There's been great color. And now you're talking about bringing snow and wind down through here. So you know what they say, buddy, all good things must come to an end. And unfortunately, that may be the case in through here. Heaviest snow will be in down east Maine and Lubec, where there are much less leaves on the tree, but there also could be stronger wind. So both of those areas that I circled, we have the potential for some power outages. And if we get 1 or 2 persistent bands in the Upper Peninsula of heavy snow, guess what? We could probably cause some power outages.
All right, Jim, we'll look at the GF and
Yeah,
GFS.
the GFS in the bottom of the hour.
Another possible solution. Thank you very much for that. And now it's time to start our top 5 video countdown. We count them down throughout the show, starting off with number 5 and some massive floods. This in southern Norway from yesterday. Heavy rain caused one of the rivers there to overflow, and you can see some of the flooding right here. Plus, new video and firsthand accounts of what some are calling a disaster unfolding in slow motion.
When we moved here, we understood that we were on top of an active volcano.
Right now, it feels like we're in a furnace.
I think it's pretty scary. The anxiety is building up, and it's like a slow torture.
It literally means we're shutting down. We will not have students.
Came into this world naked, I'm going out naked. I ain't taking this with me. But the memories I can take, right? And that's what the most precious.
The lava moving dangerously close to a Hawaiian town, Paoa. Stay with us. We're going to be right back.
Tomcat bait kills up to 12 mice, faster than Decon. What will we do with all of these dead mice? Tomcat presents Dead Mouse Theater.
Hey, old frick.
Hey, Ignore.
What's up with you?
Funny you ask. I'm actually here to pillage your town.
But we went to summer camp together.
Summer camp is over.
Tomcat. Engineered to kill.
Can you start tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's share the news tomorrow. Today we're fairly busy. Tomorrow we're booked solid. We close on the house tomorrow.
Want one of these opened up? Because tomorrow we go live, everybody.
It's a day full of promise. And often, that day arrives by train.
Big day today? Even bigger one tomorrow.
When CSX trains move forward, so does the rest of the economy. CSX, how tomorrow moves.
Once a year, a phenomenon occurs
Insanity!
that defies explanation.
That is distractingly strange.
And is seared in our memory. The wait is over. Halloween on Today.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, a mainly sunny sky. High 84. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear skies. Low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Of weather. You shouldn't watch alone.
What was that?
Our Halloween marathon, Wicked in the Weather, starting tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way. Nice.
This Whirlpool washer or dryer, now just $4.99 each at Lowe's.
Yeah, I'm married. Does it matter? You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Summer's over. The kids have grown 2 sizes.
We all need new coats.
Burlington has so many great options for the season. Scarves, jackets, shoes, great brands.
And the prices won't break the bank.
3 kids' coats for under $90.
Look out, Winter.
Here come the Wilsons.
Just the fact that this is a shield volcano, the lava flow is Pohoihoi, so it is unique to the world. Most people think of a volcanic explosion and you run for cover and there's ash everywhere. This is a very different experience.
And the Pahoa volcano is not erupting in the violent nature you might think of or we've seen in the past. That comes from a composite volcano like Mount St. Helens in the Pacific Northwest. Carl Parker is in the lab to explain why the shield volcano behaves differently.
We've seen just tremendous impacts from those types of volcanoes. This one does not have those explosive impacts. Rather, it's a gentle eruption. And so what you've got is a very fluid magma and lava, which just seeps out of various vents in the volcano and moves over in different parts of the island. So this is a look at how that works on Hawaii. And there you see the magma chamber in the center there that is deep underground. Then you've got the main area of flow out of that. That's where the cinder cone is. But then there are also these side vents, these fissure vents, and magma travels up through those vents and then is released at the surface. And again, it's very fluid. It's not explosive. So it's slowly seeping along the ground, generally traveling at about 10 to 20 feet per hour. And it's incredibly hot, of course, and it's burning everything in its path. And it's amazing, in Hawaii, 48 square miles have been covered over by Kilauea as long as this eruption has been occurring, and that has been for 31 years now.
Carl, thank you. And this is just how slow the lava moves. You see the smoke, you see the fire, but look at the leading edge of this lava. Inching along, barely even moving. This is what we're talking about by that slow torture. They can see it coming, burning at 2,000 degrees. That's going to burn whatever's in the way. And you just know that's coming. You just don't know how long it's going to get there. And then the other possibility, will it stop? Will the lava stop spewing out this what seems like it's non-stop flow of lava? So that's why it's so torturous for the people that live there. It's happening so slowly. You can see it. You can barely even with the naked eye see it moving, at least from this picture right here. There's barely even much of a slope. Now to the big island of Hawaii and the threatening lava flow. The lava is traveling about 30 to 45 feet each hour. In some cases, again, we see it's moving very slowly. And if it keeps up that rate, it could cross Pahoa's main Hawaii highway as early as Friday. And one question we've been asked a lot here at the Weather Channel is just how hot is the lava? The lava flowing from this volcano, from Kilauea, is about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's hotter than anything most of us have ever had to deal with. Keep in mind, that's melted rock. Oftentimes we put rocks around the campfire to keep the fire in place, but this is melted rock. And to help put this in a perspective and a comparison here, according to the United States Geological Survey, lava on the cooler side of things can flow at temperatures of about what a pizza oven is, which is close to about 600 degrees or 570 degrees. And magma and other materials spewed from Mount St. Helens, if you remember that, also was about 895 degrees Fahrenheit. And that exploded out of the top, going about 100 miles an hour. And again, in Hawaii, the dark red lava often seen crawling across parts of Hawaii measures at about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And 2 years ago, we were tracking the landfall of Superstorm Sandy. We're going to take a look at the lessons, some of the lessons we've learned, and the memories ingrained in our minds coming up. But now to our number 4 video. A mudslide triggered by monsoon rain buried several homes in central Sri Lanka. At least 10 people are dead and hundreds missing. People in the south could see their first snow of the year. And this is a look at Caribou, Maine, another spot that will see the potential, at least, for some snow from the southeast to the northeast. We're tracking it for you.
When your house loses power, it can be tough for your family. But not if your family has a Kohler generator. Restores power automatically in as little as 10 seconds and is backed by a 5-year limited warranty. Kohler generators. Keep your family flowing.
When the power goes out, you'll go on. Contact your Kohler Generators dealer today.
Hershey's Miniatures. Choosing is half the fun. Because there's a little something delicious for everyone. Hershey's Miniatures. Choose your own delicious.
I'm telling you, Walmart ships and delivers millions of items for free.
Free?
Who knew, right?
Wow.
Cute costume.
We bought it on Walmart.com. We picked it up at the store the same day. Who knew?
Check out Walmart's Savings Catcher app. If it finds a lower advertised price, I automatically get the difference on an e-gift card. Who knew?
Do you guys always have rollbacks? Yep. Huh. Who knew? I knew. Because this, yeah.
More ways to shop, more ways to save. Your way. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Ought it be bigger?
There's nothing I can't reach in my Subaru.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Cooper engineers its tires not just for performance, but real life performance. So before you get in, get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you, because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. Buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires and get up to a $70 prepaid card by mail. See retailer for details.
There is a powerful force of nature at work.
3 nights of weather.
What was that?
You shouldn't watch alone.
It's not somewhere you want to be when the sun goes down.
Wicked in the Weather, a 3-night
Every Wednesday, Bravo brings back its original recipe.
Welcome to Top Chef.
And look who's a judge this season.
I don't get a lot of the ginger in the cherries.
It's a little abrupt to get the feedback right away.
This is Top Chef, and I didn't come here to toss salad.
Top Chef is supersized.
I'd gladly eat a lot more of it.
Wednesday, October 15th at 10/9 Central. Only by Bravo.
Brought to you by the South Florida Mercedes-Benz dealers, featuring the Mercedes-Benz 2015 GLA and Mercedes-Benz 2015 C-Class, or go to mbsouthflorida.com.
Want to lose denture paste, dudes?
I do. It's yucky.
But chewy.
Paste is messy.
Seabond wafers hold clean with no ooze.
Neat.
Oh, yeah. We're bonding. Seabond, lose the ooze.
Excuse me, but I can't believe your age. Your skin looks so young.
I never take off my makeup with soap and water. Too drying. I use Albolene. I started using Albolene when I was your age.
I start today.
And now there's Albolene in a convenient tube.
499-6188 or go online to beactivebrace.com. Call or click today.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this. Listen to that.
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, a mainly sunny sky. High 84. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear skies. Low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I
remember first seeing the image, the boardwalk completely destroyed. I thought it was fake at first. That's how shocked I was at how bad the destruction was. And then being in New York City and seeing what was happening, I mean, the tunnels were filled with water. Literally, you couldn't even go into the tunnel. It was filled with water. There's water pouring into subway station. When you saw the video of what was happening and seeing the water up the stairs of the subway station, you couldn't get in.
Of course, we won't forget Sandy. And what do we have out there right now? That's another question, right, that we have. As we head into November, typically it starts to get really quiet, but here we are at the end of October, and we've got two Invest areas to talk about. We have this Invest Area 95L, which is just east of Puerto Rico. We also have this Invest 93E, which could become Vance here pretty soon, at least a tropical depression here sometime tonight. Let's talk about this one first of all. In Puerto Rico, we don't have to worry about this. The forecast is going to take this away from you to the north of you. We may get maybe a little bit of rain from this, maybe some gusty winds, but that's really about it. The winds are at 35 miles per hour, the pressure 1,009. This is going to have a hard time developing into anything. It's a short window to do it before it gets whisked away by the front that's going to be coming off the east coast. So a 30% chance of developing into a tropical system, and it will take what the computer models say and put it on this map and show you where it's taking it, up to the north and east away from us. So that's good news. It's going to have a hard time developing because of hostile winds. But also this one in the Eastern Pacific, winds at 35 miles per hour, the pressure 1,007, has a really good chance of developing. So this could be our next tropical depression, and the forecast, interesting, takes it to the northwest and then to the northeast. All right, let's find out what's happening here in the U.S. for Halloween. Here's Mark.
Yeah, we're still watching the tropics this time of year, but it's a different season on a lot of people's minds, the Halloween season. Just 2 days away, so I hit the streets to ask people what type of weather costume they would dress up as. Take a look. Is there too cold for Halloween?
Yeah, we have to bundle up in scarves and gloves and hats and big old jacket.
It doesn't really go with the costume.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, I think you can wear a mask with a scarf. Can we do that?
No.
I guess not.
Lightning.
Lightning. So how would you do that?
Silver, zigzag, 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 on all black in the back.
Okay.
And just walk around.
What about the rain scares you?
My hair. I can't go walking around getting my hair wet in the rain. I need to preserve all this beauty.
Luckily, I don't have to worry about that one.
True.
Have you ever been in a weather situation that did scare you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Oh, yesterday.
Yesterday? Just yesterday?
All that rain yesterday.
For people that maybe weren't at your house yesterday with you,
yeah, it was
what
like
happened?
A tsunami almost, but on a smaller level.
Okay.
Just a lot of rain yesterday.
You know a tsunami is a wave?
Oh, yeah.
Probably wasn't like that.
Yeah.
No.
It's just like maybe a hurricane.
Maybe a hurricane.
Uh-huh. There we go.
What would you dress up as?
I guess a hurricane.
How would you dress up like a hurricane? I like this.
I'd wear a University of Miami shirt.
Ah, I see what you did there. What about weather that scares you?
Weather that scares me? Thunderstorms? You know, you don't want to be walking around on a Halloween. What if you're like the Tin Man and it's lightning? That's dangerous.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, lightning and metal.
Not a good mixture.
So lots of good ideas, or not so good ideas. Yeah.
Creative.
Yes. My favorite is still the lightning walking in like this, to be lightning coming into a party. I guess that's how you do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate that. Looks like you have fun out there.
It was a good time.
Yeah, usually you have a good time.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
It's true.
And let's take a look right now. This is what it's going to feel like. But I want to dress accordingly here. This is what it's going to feel like during trick-or-treat time here. Temperatures in the 20s. We're going to let you know when things are going to warm back up. And this, our number 3 video of the day, time-lapse video of storm clouds in Atlanta.
This program brought to you by Hershey Spreads. The possibilities are delicious.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
Dear Murphy, thanks for being a warm pillow, a snuggler, and showing me that slobber just adds character.
This holiday season, give thanks to the pets who inspire you. For 3 days only at PetSmart, save 30% on thousands of items. PetSmart.
Maybe you didn't know people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But there's a new card in town. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The Citi Double Cash Card. The only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Hey, have you guys heard about probiotics for digestive health? Yes, and did you know that TrueBiotics is a daily probiotic that helps in 2 ways? It supports digestive and immune health by working in your gut, where 70% of your immune system lives. Try TrueBiotics.
On my journey across America, I've learned that when you ask someone in Texas if they want big savings on car insurance, it's a bit like asking if they want a big hat. Excuse me. Or a big steak. Or big hair. I think we have our answer.
If I could separate what's real from what happened, remember that
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If you don't think I've still got it when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Life Reimagined gives you tools and support to get the career you'll love. Find more real possibilities at aarp.org/possibilities.
While we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield of rain, sleet, and snow without streaking, giving you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X Premium Wiper Blades. Available at these fine retailers.
There is a powerful force of nature at work.
3 nights of weather.
What was that?
You shouldn't watch alone.
It's not somewhere you want to be when the sun goes down.
Wicked in the Weather, a 3-night marathon starting tonight at 8. And when you wake, get your Halloween trick-or-treat forecast tomorrow on the Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, a mainly sunny sky. High 84. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear skies. Low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Battery Park City, where as you can see now, the Hudson River has now decided it wants to overtake Battery Park, and that's what's happening. This is the water rise associated with the tide. We know that the surge level is already at 7 feet. We expect this to keep coming up, and we are going to keep moving back.
That's Jim Cantore in the middle of Superstorm Sandy's effects there on Battery Park, New York. That was in about 3.5 minutes, exactly 2 years ago, Jim.
Yeah, and it seems like
else.
yesterday, to be quite honest with you. I mean, the memories are still there, and the biggest part of that is, you know, all of a sudden we're looking at the fact that, oh my gosh, here comes the surge at the time of high tide. So we had record tides at the battery, and then all the power outages, and then, of course, the destruction that we saw the next day, which was just unthinkable.
It certainly was unthinkable. And we're going to take a look at some of the things that we have learned and some of the changes, something that would be different if New York ever sees something like that. Again, that's coming up in just a little bit. But right now here in the lab, we are looking at what could happen this week as far as snow goes and a wintry blast, Jim.
Yeah, no Sandy.
No Sandy, that's something.
But we are talking about the first snow of the season. And I mean, as a kid, even as an adult, still as an adult, I get excited about that first snow. You want to see those first flakes. It's just an awesome sight when it starts covering the ground. And yeah, that's the kid in all of us. All right, so Sean and Sarah put together the first measurable snowfall of the season. Again, that's 0.1 inches or greater than or equal to, all right? Or, 0.1 of an inch greater than or equal to. That's measurable, considered measurable. The first snow, if we had just that, it would be a trace. And I was talking about that earlier. But look at this, Chris. Elkins, West Virginia, November 4th. So we're going to be ahead of that, right? Bristol, Tennessee, December 11th. And then Asheville, North Carolina, December 25th for Asheville. So if we get measured snow in those areas, which we could, it's going to be pretty doggone early in Asheville. And I'll tell you, I think I'd probably want to choose Asheville out of all those. You've been there.
Yeah, it's the higher elevation.
It's a good scene.
Really neat town.
It's just a great scene.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about the top of the hour. We look at the European. Here's the bottom of the hour. So we're looking at the GFS, the American model, which, by the way, we'll see what happens for the rest of the winter. But I do want to make the point that the GFS always said this was going to be too far east as a coastal storm. We'll see what happens, all right, the rest of the winter. I think it's interesting to note that. It kind of led the way here with the computer models. So similar scenario, big storm comes down in the upper levels, creates what we call in this case double barrel low pressure on the East Coast. It's the southern storm that'll be the main storm here. But because the trough is swinging through and progressive, it takes the whole grok of guacamole here. What am I saying? Crock of guacamole out to sea.
Let's call it a pot of guacamole. Or a bowl of guacamole.
Let's just throw the crock out.
It's like with Sandy and the seashells at the seashore.
Exactly. So either way, this is a big rainmaker on the east side. Cold air will be on the backside of this. But I think most of the energy is going to be here. And this is where we're going to have the interesting players. You're going to have lake effect snow and rain, and you're going to have mountain-induced snow showers. And some of those are going to be heavy in spots. And remember, the southern Appalachians especially, in the central Appalachians too, still have a lot of leaves on the trees. So we'll see what kind of a snow here, but we're going to be drying out the air mass at the same time. There will be no 12 to 18 inches anywhere, I doubt. And you'll notice
this is an update,
this is actually the new run. Yeah, this is the new run of the GFS. So we don't even have 8 to 12.
So new, the graphics haven't had enough time to update the graphics.
Exactly. So look at how much we're forecasting now. So in other words, what this shows me is the GFS solution is much farther out to sea. East Coast is not even in play here at all in terms of snow. So we'll keep an eye on the Appalachians, maybe North Georgia, and this is kind of interesting, through central Michigan, Indiana, Toledo, I-75, maybe the first snow of the season.
We will stay tuned. Thank you, Jim. Let's go to Kim right now. A lot of people want to know what Halloween's going to be like, and Kim has that.
Dress warm.
Well, it's going to be warmer than it will be on Saturday for a lot of people. Let's talk about your forecast now for Halloween. And for some of you, you're going to beat the cold air and you're going to beat the snow if your kids get out between 6 and 8. We're going to take a look at the big country, or the big map right now at the country. Bismarck 43, Denver 64, no problems here. But it's this area here where Jim was talking about with that system coming through that we're going to see rain starting out. But for some of you, it is going to change over to snow maybe after the kids are done trick-or-treating. In the Northeast, we don't have to worry about it. The coastal areas, all the way from Bangor to New York City, temperatures will be in the 50s, maybe upper 40s or so when the kids are done. Here in New York, those temperatures will be in the 50s, maybe some rain coming in after everybody's home during the overnight hours. And then here in the Southeast, Atlanta at 66, but I'll tell you what, right at 8 o'clock, maybe a little after that, the front slams through, and we're going to see temperatures dropping and some cold air coming in, and it's going to be blustery all weekend long. Chris?
Thank you, Kim. As we mentioned a bit ago, 2 years ago tonight, Superstorm Sandy pummeled the East Coast, killing more than 100 people and damaging thousands of homes and businesses. One of the hard questions asked as Sandy moved toward New York City was whether or not to evacuate the city. Now there are new tools in place that should help with those decisions, thanks in part to our own storm surge expert, Michael Lowry.
October 27th, 2012, just 2 days before Sandy would make landfall.
Let me tell you first, we are not ordering any evacuations as of this time for any parts of the city. It is not expected to be a tropical storm or hurricane-type surge.
Because of miscommunication and old evacuation maps, many of those in the danger zone did not take the steps to escape and save their lives.
We lucked out with Irene, and now, I don't know, this may be worse. I don't know.
In less than 24 hours, Mayor Bloomberg and New York City officials had to significantly change their tunes.
In light of these conditions, I'm going to sign an executive order mandating evacuation of Zone A areas.
Superstorm Sandy went on to produce record-setting storm surge.
We've set a preliminary record now at the Battery for the all-time highest storm surge.
More than 100 people died from Sandy, nearly half of them in New York and in New Jersey. Many of those deaths could have been prevented.
When it comes to evacuating people in this country, it is literally all about storm surge and flooding. It has very little to do with the wind. Updating the New York evacuation zone started back in 2010 when, at the National Hurricane Center, we began running these computer models. We literally would go in and run thousands of hypothetical storms to determine what the flood threat is. We would give this information to FEMA, and then they would use this as the foundation for these new evacuation zones. In fact, FEMA was in the process of updating these evacuation zones when Sandy was happening.
Now the changes to those evacuation maps are complete. Instead of zones A, B, and C, there are 6 zones, numbered 1 through 6, with Zone 1 considered the most vulnerable.
It went from 3 to 6 zones. The new models helped us to narrow down where the surge will go and make the zones more precise. So you're not evacuating people who don't need to evacuate. The number of people living in the evacuation zones has increased considerably by over 600,000 people. But the good part of this is that you only have to go a little bit inland to escape the water.
Reaction?
A tough task to do when so much population is there. You know, you're asking a massive amount of people. And again, there's just so many parts of the country that haven't experienced anything like that. So now, think about it, where we've come. The last major hurricane, 9 years ago, right? I mean, you gotta go way back. So many new population areas in Florida, in Texas, in Louisiana, South Carolina, especially when you think back to Hugo in '89. So this is like a whole new game now. You know, the next time we get a major hurricane and a big storm surge threat, you know, all rules are off. All bets are off here. We're talking about a whole new set of rules here.
But with New York and the different tiers now, does this mean, do you think, that they don't have to necessarily get all the way off of Manhattan, off of the island, or you just have to go inland a few blocks
out of the water,
to your friend's house?
Yeah, but you've already packed. There's already so many people
I know, but you're not.
Right, but you have. That's the whole key. People die in storm surge. We know that. Most of the deaths, if not all, usually happen in storm surge. So you've got to get those people out of harm's way.
You have to know where to go.
That, let the water come in, let it get out. Everybody's going to be a lot happier. Unfortunately, there will still be a mess to clean up.
Right. All right, Jim, thank you very much. And we continue our top 5 video countdown right now with a look at number 2. And this is that slow-moving lava. So slow, Jim, you can barely see it moving.
Yeah, it's an awful situation here, unfortunately. Paradise comes with a price.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, a mainly sunny sky. High 84. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear skies. Low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Look out. Now there's even more of the amazing cinnamon taste you love on Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Crave those crazy squares even more.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Grandma? 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
Today we're getting record snowfall.
Radars indicate there's been flooding throughout the area.
We're getting hail the size of golf balls.
Maglite. Turn your light on, America.
Introducing York Minis. A bite-sized new way to enjoy the full-size sensation of peppermint and rich, dark chocolate. New York Minis. Get the sensation.
Edward Jones.
With nearly 7 million investors,
Oh, hey, Neil. How are you?
you'd expect us to have a highly skilled call center.
Kevin, Neil Hawley's on line 1.
Okay, great. And we do. It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
So we've had a Tempur-Pedic for a while, but now that we have the adjustable base, it's even better.
I'm gonna go up.
When I put my feet up on this bed, my stress just goes away.
Visit your local retailer and discover how Tempur-Pedic can move you.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
It's a brand new day. I'm gonna make a stand.
American Laser Skincare has redefined the laser hair removal experience. Faster, fewer treatments, clinically proven results. For value that you can count on, trust the laser skincare leader with over 12 million treatments performed. Get huge savings up to 75% off. Call 877-8-LASER-1 today. American Laser Skincare. Love what's looking back at you.
Wherever you walk, just remember this. Whatever you step on goes on your shoes and ends up on your car's floor. So to perfectly protect your vehicle, you need WeatherTech floor liners. They're laser measured to custom fit and perfectly protect your specific make and model. Order yours at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, proudly made in America.
Time now to recap numbers 5 through 2. Massive floods in southern Norway, monsoon rain causing a deadly mudslide in Sri Lanka, storm clouds moving into the Atlanta area, and that lava flow threatening a town in Hawaii. All impressive videos. Before we get to number 1, we would like to hear from our panel. We have Mark, Jim, and Kim, and I'm told that Kim gets to pick.
Really?
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I think that's a fair.
Why not?
All right, now I'm really
not
on the
gonna argue
spot,
either.
right?
Right, you're on the spot.
I'm on the spot. I better pick a good one. I think because it was near and dear to us, in the Atlanta, the front coming through today, I just always am fascinated by the difference in the clouds before the front comes in, what happens once the front comes through, the different types of clouds that you see, the cold air, you can actually kind of feel it, rushing in. And
that was
just
the wrong
kind
answer,
of cool.
Kim.
It was the wrong answer?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing
No, but
with you.
don't you love that? It's like
I
you
do.
can tell, as
you
meteorologists, you can look at the sky and actually tell the front is through. I mean, you just know by the clouds, the way they're shaped, the way they're moving, all this. It's just kind of neat to see it happen. That's my take on it.
Lava?
Yeah, that was mine.
Sorry, guys. I was boring.
It's all about the molten
Mine was
rock.
boring, huh?
No, it was very
It was
romantic.
lovely. It was a great
romantic.
It
take.
was very romantic, Kim.
Thanks, Jim.
But the real answer's on now.
And Chris and I were talking. I mean, stuff's moving so slow, but you can't really. We don't have equipment we can go and like move it. You have to do all the defense before it gets there.
And it's the only natural disaster that you can get anything near this. It's so slow you can watch your house be destroyed by a natural disaster. There's nothing else like that.
I mean, you think about how high it is in some points. It's a foot high or something. It's like, how creepy is that?
Like,
that you can't control that you can't control it.
Make a stream and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Can we take air tankers and close up that vent by dropping water on top of it.
It's also part of the
Cooling
culture
lava.
there. I mean, that you don't redirect the lava for many reasons in Hawaii.
How many times do we say this on the coastline?
Yeah.
With the ocean view. Paradise comes with a price.
Yes, it does. Let's take a look at number one right now, the number one video today. We've been seeing a lot of different videos of this from the rocket explosion from last night. You can hear it here.
You knew something went wrong there.
Yeah, the rocket was loaded with 750,000 pounds of fuel. 5,000 pounds of gear and supplies heading to the International Space Station. Fortunately, nobody on the ground was hurt, though the launch facility itself was heavily damaged today. The company that built the rocket, Orbital Sciences Corporation, is working to figure out what went wrong. Dozens of people watched just a few miles away at a media viewing area, a different spot from what you're just seeing. And here's the reaction at that time, guys.
3, 2, 1.
And so, guys, what do you think when you see that?
Dreams shattered.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these people came to see this, exciting launch, and then right before their eyes, it just explodes. And I just feel like dreams shattered, and also just to get it up to the International Space Station.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about sending something up into space, you never really want that to fail. And when it fails, it hurts. I mean, I remember being in college when the Challenger accident happened.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's right.
this is apples and oranges here with this rocket, but still, you just never want to see a mission fail.
Yeah.
Right.
And this one failed.
And one last note, that you could see the explosion far before you could hear the explosion, and that brings back the whole lightning and then thunder and the times that
sound and light travel different speeds.
All right, thank you very much, guys. And the 5,000 pounds of cargo included 1,600 pounds of science projects from elementary, middle, and high school students across the U.S. and Canada. Our affiliate KNBC spoke to a science teacher at San Marino High School in California. 2 of his students had a project on board their rocket, and organizers told him there is some good news.
They were very quick to say, hey, the students put in a lot of time and effort, and we'd obviously like to give them an opportunity, so we'll be reflying on the next available mission. It's a life lesson. It's real science, and things go wrong, and you spend a lot of time on it, and the kids understand that. We're still exploring space. It's still going to be dangerous, and things happen.
In all, 18 science projects were on board. We'll be right back with the Tropical Update.
Lowe's presents How to Say Goodbye to 1993 Forever.
Goodbye.
Hurry into Lowe's and get Stainmaster carpet installed free by Thanksgiving.
Wouldn't it be nice if we focused less on the number and more on how the fit makes us feel? Start your day bursting with real berries and slip into size sassy with Special K.
Sunday nights. The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, a mainly Thursday night, clear skies, low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm telling you, Walmart ships and delivers millions of items for free.
Free?
Who knew, right?
Wow.
Cute costume.
We bought it on Walmart.com. We picked it up at the store the same day. Who knew?
Check out Walmart's Savings Catcher app. If it finds a lower advertised price, I automatically get the difference on an e-gift card. Who knew?
Do you guys always have rollbacks? Yep. Huh. Who knew? I knew. Because this, yeah.
More ways to shop, more ways to save. Your way. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Just tell us your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole range of coverages. No one else gives you options like that.
No one at all. No one at all.
No one.
Wake up.
You okay, buddy? I just had a dream that Progressive had this thing called...
Your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole...
Isn't a dream, is it?
Nope. Sorry.
You know that thing freaks me out.
He can hear you. He didn't mean that, Kevin. Yes, he did.
Keeping our competitors up at night. Now that's Progressive.
Cooper engineers its tires not just for performance, but real life performance. So before you get in, get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you, because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Every Thursday night, Xfinity from Comcast and NFL Network puts you right there for all the action. NFL Network is the only place to see the rest of this season's Thursday night football games. You won't want to miss a minute of the action. Don't miss the Saints versus the Panthers and every other Thursday night football matchup. Get NFL Network when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Watching the NFL on Xfinity from Comcast is like having the best seat in the house on game day. Because NFL Red Zone gives you a front row seat to the biggest plays around the league, including every touchdown from every game Sunday afternoons, live, all on one channel. Get NFL Red Zone from NFL Network when you add the sports entertainment package for just $4.99 more a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Visit Comcast.com/NFL today.
It's your turn. Discover new selections and unbeatable savings. Shop Zulily.com and start saving today.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this.
Listen to that. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
We chose to be in Battery Park. Based on the elevation, I felt like it was a good area, knowing that we would get pictures of the wind and the waves and the water, but there was some elevation there. I remember standing in the water, and we'd seen water come up across the battery before. I'd been there dozens of times and seen it happen, splash over. But where I was standing, I was getting water coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, and I'm walking in water that is very, very high at this point. And I realized, okay, this is part of that surge.
Memories of Superstorm Sandy from Sam Champion. Right now, it is time for the Tropical Update. And for that, Storm Tracker Jim Cantori busy here in the lab. And Jim, we're starting out
with Nilofer over here in the Arabian Sea. Weakening down to a 75-mile-per-hour hurricane, but look at this. Kaboom! Big showers and thunderstorms once again. This is warm water, Chris, everywhere throughout this basin and through here. Remember, at one point, this was the third strongest in the modern satellite era in terms of Arabian hurricanes or tropical cyclones, as they are called in this basin. So here's India, here's Pakistan here. This thing is heading this way, and so is its moisture. The good news is the weakening trend should continue. So here we are at 75 miles per hour. We know it's not weakening right now, especially given that convective burst, but the forecast is for it to do so as we work our way in toward Friday night. So hopefully a whole different solution once we roll around, and we'll see how much, we'll see what's left of it, because remember, you've got dry, hot air coming off of this part of the world, so that may weaken it even further and not really give us a big rain event through here. Invest 95L. 93E, that's the big player. Could it come up and come into the United States with moisture? Yes. It also, from some of the computer models, Chris, is forecast to become a hurricane, but we'll see. All right, so here's 95L. Here's the center. Here are the thunderstorms. So we're decoupled in the atmosphere because of wind shear. This time of the year, winds aloft, very, very strong, especially in this part of the world. Once you get north of Puerto Rico, it's pretty hard to get something to develop. Now, will that stay? That's a big question. Here's a look at the jet stream winds. Again, we're looking up here, and you can see them just cutting right across and over the top of where the center is, right back in through here. So not surprising, this is kind of decoupled at the present time. Here's the surface flow. So here's this broad center here, but remember we showed you the upper level winds, and they're right over the top of that. So you've got a system that's very, very lopsided. So the question is this shear going to wane enough so that we can align the center or redevelop thunderstorms over the center? New possibilities now down to 20%. So the Hurricane Center is less optimistic about this developing. Models take it up, and then we get caught up in the big East Coast trough. And the winds are going to be absolutely brutal. There may not be much even to follow once it gets across the west central Atlantic. So here's the wind shear. We know that the circulation is here today, so it's right in the midst of that wind shear. Let's use the white right in through here north of Puerto Rico. So let's see what happens in time. Here's today. We push this forward and go forward in it. Get a little bit of a break by Friday, a little bit of lightning in that wind, but remember the system's also coming north, and so here it goes up and out by Monday and Tuesday. So it will have a small window on Friday to develop, and then that's it. And if you look at this whole basin, Chris, you think, all right, well, where could something possibly develop? That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And that's what you get this time of the year. You know, November still part of the tropical Atlantic Basin development season, but you have very small areas and very small windows to deal with. Hanna still hanging around, making its way across southern Mexico and northern Guatemala, but it's not producing very, very heavy rain, at least at the present time. So here's 93E, still a little decoupled. Here's the center here. All the thunderstorms are off on the northeastern side, but this is forecast to get a little bit better organized in time. There you can see those thunderstorms. We'll see if this persists around the center. Not very deep, but at least some suggestion. Still 100% chance as of the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center. And the problem is, as we watch the models play out here, west, 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 here comes big trough. Then we take it off to the northeast. So possibly not as a well-developed system, because it is forecast to become a hurricane about right in through here, but maybe something that brings moisture into the central part of the country. But this time of the year we have to be real careful with these systems, because those big troughs come down, they pick these things up, especially if they're well-defined hurricanes. They can pose a threat to Mexico and unfortunately even Cabo.
All right, well, stay tuned. And Jim, you're going to be off the next couple of days from the Weather Channel at night, but
I'll be working mornings on the Weather Channels, but I'll be getting ready for the Nick Wallenda Walk. Yeah, I'll be on Friday morning in Chicago. We ought to have some pretty cold temperatures, and the waves ought to be kicking up on the Chicago lakefront as well. And we're there for Nick Wallenda. We're going to see this man attempt something amazing, walk across really two buildings, one at a time, blindfolded.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Winds light and variable. Thursday, a mainly Thursday night, clear skies, low 66. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Elliott here with you at the Weather Channel. We're still following this cold front. This is the beginning of that cooling trend. It's racing all the way to the eastern seaboard now. Zooming in on Boston, your showers are knocking on the doorstep. In fact, using a high-resolution model, we can time out this rain for you. And as we go through the rest of the evening hours, some on-again, off-again showers. Then this thing pulls off the coast. The northwest winds start to crank, and we're going to start to see the cooler temperatures. Also along this front, the Jersey Shore seeing a couple of showers. We have a couple of thunderstorms right along I-95 from North Carolina into South Carolina, and we're still following some of those showers into South Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. None of these will likely turn severe, but if you're in this area, you're traveling tonight, that's where we could see some showers. Then, of course, we have our next round of cold front and that big storm coming on in. This is the one that's really going to change the weather picture. So by Friday morning, get ready for the Arctic blast, upper 20s to low 30s, and that's only going to spread south and east from there. Stay with the Weather Channel through the night. Secrets of the Earth starting up right now.
We have uncovered a remarkable planet, a world of extreme weather, alien landscapes, and bizarre phenomena. It's the most complex system we know of in the universe. That planet is Earth, and we are only beginning to unlock its secrets. What power is mighty enough to erase the marks of the planet's master builder? To tear down, rip apart, and bury the proud cities of men. In one of these places, where cameras are rarely allowed, what terrifying forces combine to turn a tropical paradise into a ghost town? How were factories and homes in the American Midwest occupied by an invincible army?
Trees grow with a lot of strength, and they can start ripping apart a building quite quickly.
And in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, what new enemy is marching against New Orleans?
They're one of the most feared invasive species here.
3 cities. Battlegrounds between man and nature. Why did some fall? How are some fighting back? On planet Earth, man's cities are built to withstand the onslaught of wind, rain, heat, and cold. But these cities must be maintained. If people are driven away, the forces of nature rage unopposed. These are the stories of 3 cities with 3 very different battles against nature. First, Detroit, Michigan. The Motor City that put the world on wheels. The city of muscle cars and Motown music. But the music business moved to Los Angeles. Foreign competition crippled the car makers.
Detroit hung its hat on the automobile business. People who went through these factories spent their entire lives here. Today, where there used to be homes, there's a lot of vacant fields.
Out of a perfect storm of financial crises, roared an economic tsunami that emptied the city. Between 1950 and 2000, Detroit lost half its population. Between 2000 and 2010, a quarter of those who remained fled, abandoning almost 80,000 buildings, 1/5